Welcome to Trading Lounge and the commodities report for soft commodities and grains, and starting with soybeans here. We're currently on the weekly robo method. We're long at this particular price and we have our reverse to go short at this particular price here. In terms of the wave count with Elliott, we are actually looking for a move higher, and we're looking at I've changed this slightly with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 all being the same, and wave 5 here, I've reinvestigated this, and wave 5 sits quite nicely here, which makes up the A wave, and this makes up a nice B wave, and this makes up a nice C wave here. So the market's got potential to move up higher through here. If I've made a mistake, then it would be the old count where we have an A wave to here, the B wave to here, and wave 5 to here. So we could get a small 5-wave structure down through to here, but I think that we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I think we'll be pushing up there for 5 and going up this way. So either way, we're just looking for a move higher, but we may get this one here first. Not that it makes much difference, so we should be fine. The wheat market, fine, moving down further. It's nice to see it move through 480 because it's a minor level. Next week we'll look to add on this as well, and we'll also be bringing the reverse button down to reverse order down to this particular high here. So all going very well there. And in terms of the wave structure here, I'll need to go back over this and do some work. I know that I had this roughly marked out here, and we're sort of there at the moment and all those sort of things. So I will go and do some I just want to re-pull this apart and just see exactly where we are with this. And my main point was taking out on the daily chart here, was taking out this low here because I understood this being corrective, but we may have further potential to the downside. I'm just not quite sure yet. I just need to go back over and do some work, and also need to line it up with some of the other markets as well. So the corn market's also doing very well now too. So we've got 3 orders in here, and we're also looking for further lows as well, and we could also possibly take out the lows on the daily chart down here as well, because this is a corrective move. But I was sort of figuring, originally that an A wave and some sort of B wave and some sort of C wave and then down, but we may just get lucky, and we just may just have this here as wave 1 here, wave 2 to here, and then further just impulsing further down towards 300. So that's my sort of my wish, really. Not that you get what you wish for, so to speak, in this game, but at least if it does occur, we're on the right side. So to make serious money, you've got to stay in the trend. It takes courage, and sometimes it doesn't always trend, but when it does, those 1 or 2 trades out of 10, then that makes up for most of the other things. So the coffee market, been triggered in short here at this particular price here, and I would expect this market to move down into 120 and 110 area from here. So I feel like we're on the right side. This pattern here is corrective. There's no sort of doubt about that in my mind, in terms of all of this going across here. This is obviously corrective, so we'll see further downside. We'll just see how it works through the 130 here. So far, we'd be looking at this as 1 and 2 here, 3rd wave here, 4th wave finding some sort of support here, 5th wave here, then a bounce back up to the 50-60%, the supply level, maybe even lower, and then down from that point there. All right. The sugar market is still testing a bit higher on the long side here, and that's fine too. In terms of the count, I've adjusted that a little bit in terms of the wave 3 here. I brought it out 1 degree, and definitely a corrective move here. So I can label it wave A. B is normally B wave is in 3 waves, but it can be very sharp too in corrective moves. So I'm happy with that. And I'm also looking for wave C up through here in 5 waves. And as you can see, we're kind of getting those 5 waves there. So maybe a little bit higher through here and then over to this side. Anyway, we're long and we need to stay on that side for the time being, and we'll just see. We're on the right side, and we'll just see how it pans out. I just got to, not a feeling, but it's more in a technical sense. This is more of a corrective rally. How far it goes is a bit of a guessing game. But normally wave C and wave A would have some sort of equality in terms of length. So we could push higher if we're lucky too. In terms of wave 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 and 5, and getting the same sort of rough length to these two here. We'll see. The cotton market, well, we're long, and our reverse is at 61.96, and the wave count here is this here. So we may have ended this pattern, because we've got an A wave to here, B wave over here as an A and a B and a C, beautiful structures, and then we're looking for wave C and 5 waves up here, and it appears we've got 5 waves here. Could it extend further in another set? Possibly. So that means that an A and a B and a C back to here to counter trend this 5 wave move, and then another 5 here. I wouldn't bank on that. So the other point too that we need to get on board with is the US dollar index. So I do, as suggested before, it's a good idea just to keep an eye on that count. It does have a possible low. As this has a high right here, the US dollar index can have a low right there as well. So it can push higher from where it is in our triangle pattern. So for the US dollar index, so a stronger US dollar is going to obviously play havoc with some of these commodities. The orange juice market, where we're long in this, and we know that the move in here is corrective, but it can push higher. Let's look at that for a moment. So we labeled this, it's definitely corrective. So we've got, or maybe not actually, for a little bit of, maybe this is just a B wave here or the C wave here that's not quite finished as well here. Anyway, our main point here is that we'll just track this 5 wave structure up through to here, and then it can end here. So let's just see how it progresses to this point here. If you want to take profit at close into 120, then I would suggest that too there. So this would actually be the C wave to here, then the A wave, an A and a B and a C possibly to here. So yeah, just expanding it out a little bit, but it's still corrective. So we'll see how we go with that, but we'll just follow it up with the weekly low all the same anyway. But what I was actually thinking, sorry to be so vague here, I was thinking that this could actually be a wave 1 with an A and a B and a C wave here, and then pushing up for wave 3. So let's just see how we go with this, shall we? Let's just see that after these little 5 waves here, there'll just be a little bit more to go into this here, a little corrective move, and then wave 5. Let's see if we get a corrective move here. If we get a corrective move here, then we know that we're on the right side, and we can continue with our long trade. Otherwise, we'll sort of cut out early and we'll reverse and go short. The cocoa market, we're long and market's moved up, which is nice. And the wave count here is a little bit like the some of those other little commodities that we're just looking at just then, in terms of we definitely got 3 waves here. So we know that the move here is corrective. So we were looking for an A, the B wave came in, and then the C wave here in 5 waves. So I would imagine getting very close to the 29, well, maybe not even get to there really. It may fold back. If it doesn't find support on 29.30, the top of group 1, then it will fold back into 2900, and the distance above will be the distance below. So we'll be able to see this move back into group 2, which will be 28, 65, 72 and 80. So we'll zoom into that there when that happens, and we'll be able to work out what we're looking at from that point there. Alrighty, that's it, short and sweet, and yeah, definitely the grains of delivering very well indeed. Cheers.